Welcome to another episode, everyone. A bold white man destroys white America, white tears, white silence, and white supremacy. This individual here is taking a chance, but he calls out the white people in America and says that they are the problem. They are the culprits. They are the ones culpable for what is going on here in this country, and that they are the only ones that can change racism, really, since they are the racist people. Well, I'll say that this individual here, Paul Lance is his name, is his YouTube channel. He has this sort of content where he calls these people out and he exposes white Christianity and white racism. I'll say that he's risking his life with this sort of content. Well, we know that the people who he are exposing are sick, soulless, diabolical, covetous, rapacious killers. Ever since they came from their damn caves, they've been killing and destroying. So you have to be careful here, Paul, as do I, when you're dealing with these soulless, evil individuals.
The only thing that's going to change white people in this country is when you get a fraction of what it's like to live like a black person. That is the only thing that's going to move you. Because that's what we've done as white people, as a majority, for the last 400 plus years. Is that white people stood by and created this white supremacist country that only benefited white people. And while black people were hanging from trees, beaten, segregated, weren't given citizenship, couldn't vote, couldn't own land, paid less, looked at differently. When women had black babies ripped out of their fetuses and babies were used as alligator bait, you know what white people did? Hey, sucks, but hey, I got a better house. I got more money. I live in a better neighborhood. I'm not going to sacrifice my white privilege for somebody that doesn't look like me. I'm not willing to give it up. And for the first time in the history of this country, white people are finally starting to realize why America's not great and why it's never been great, except for white people. And if you don't like that, you can ship your ass back to England where you came from and get off of this stolen land.
Take your ass back to England, you fucking thieves. Go back to England where you came from. This is not your country. This is not your land. You stole it after committing millions of despicable, heinous crimes, murders. Take your ass back to England where you came from. Sick ass motherfucker. Sometimes I hate that I gotta share space on earth with these sick ass people who try to make it appear as if me and my people are the ones that are sick. Well, I know the truth. I know your history. Oh, I do. I know that you people are sick.
Because that's a fact. It has never been great for everybody. It wasn't designed to be great for everybody.
No.
A couple years ago, I noticed a bubble in my wall. I didn't know what it was. And I cut it open and it was water. For months or years, I don't know how long, it had sat inside the paint in the drywall. And it had turned into black mold. That is what white supremacy has done to this country. We have let white supremacy go untouched, unaddressed. We've ignored it for 400 plus years because it didn't affect you.
That's right, which means that you're all complicit. You are all a part of the problem. When I say all, what I mean is all of you, every single last one of you benefit from YT supremacy. Every single last one of you benefit, whether you know it or understand your benefits and your advantages or not. You benefit from being YT in this sick country because of what your people did and what they continue to do. and what you continue to do, and you don't call it out. This is why you're all a part of the problem, why you're all complicit, because you don't call it out at all. You don't support black people. You don't call you like your privilege. You like the fact that you are privileged in this country. You don't want to lose that privilege. You don't want equality, because then you can't be superior or feel superior to someone else. You're not superior, but you can't even feel superior as you do now because of your privilege. So you don't want to divest yourself of your privilege. This is why these people are not out fighting white supremacy. They claim that they're not the racist. Well, I'm not racist. But you benefit from racism, and you're doing nothing to combat racism because you benefit from racism. So you don't want it to end because you benefit from it. Whether you're actively out there harming black people or not, you benefit from the structure of white supremacy, and you don't want to lose these benefits, making you complicit and a part of the problem.
And now it went from a white hood to a red hat, because we as white people did not properly punish the Confederacy. And they went from a white hood to a red hat. That's all this is. I don't know how much clearer I can be. The news is lying to you. Podcasters are lying to you. Content creators are feeding you bullshit to make money off of your outrage and your clicks and views. 77 million people voted for a white man who was a rapist, who was very likely a child molester. At the worst, he is defending child molesters, had dinner with white supremacists, literally lied about an election, and sat on his fat ass shitting his diapers while officers were beaten. A literal convicted felon who's posting memes about Barack Obama as monkeys. Told people to inject bleach. And 77 million people said, oh, the white man. Wait, let me think of a reason why I can't vote for the black woman. That's what it was. She was the most qualified candidate in the history of the United States of America. But because she was black, that's a bridge too far. You don't believe me? Maybe you'd like to explain to me why we're such a great country. We've never had a woman president, even though 51% of our country are women. And we've only had one non-white president. It's almost like that's what I'm talking about. And those same people that said, I don't want open borders. I don't want the brown people here. I want them here legally. You voted for a rapist and a felon who caused an insurrection, who defends child molesters. Somehow that's okay. I'm sure it has nothing to do with the color of his skin. But somehow undocumented immigrants are being murdered by ICE agents right now. Over 50 have died in these concentration camps. Children are eating maggots and broccoli and moldy bread. Women have lost their pregnancies. People aren't getting the health care they needed.
The women are also being great. And yes, of course, we know why they voted for Trump. Kamala Harris is not a black woman, by the way, but we know why they voted for Donald Trump. They didn't want they didn't want a woman in there, period. Because a lot of these individuals are gay. And and they're gay because they hate women. Talking about white men. Yeah, a lot of them gay. They were gay even during slavery. So, they didn't want a woman in there. They hate women. So it was never going to happen for Kamala. And I don't care about Kamala being in there. She's not black. She don't care about black people. It didn't matter to me, but she'd have been better than Donald Trump. Donald Trump, he's an overt racist. And by the way, any black person that voted for Donald Trump, shame on you. He's an overt racist. But, he doesn't hide how he really feels. So there's no way I could have helped to put Trump in office. I'd have rather had Kamala as opposed to this individual. But these people voted for Donald Trump. This individual's in the Epstein files thousands of times. He's been on Epstein Island. And not only that, Donald Trump is accused by a woman who said that between the ages of 13 and 15, that she was there with Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein, and that Donald Trump had raped her and made her perform on him, and she bit him or something, and he slapped her, punched her in the face. 13, 15-year-old girl. She couldn't recall exactly what age she was. She said, this is all in the Epstein files. She said that she was between 13 and 15, and that he told her and told whomever else that was around, man, get her out of here, get her out of here. Punched her in the face because she bit him, I guess, on purpose. And he punched her in the face or slapped her, told her to get out of there. And then she said that Jeffrey Epstein was upset with her and upset with Donald Trump because Donald Trump went first, because she had never done anything with any man before, with anyone before she was 13 years old or so. So Epstein was upset because he wanted to be the first, and that Donald Trump had raped her first. And they had a conflict. They had animus between one another, Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein, over that situation that Donald Trump had went first. These are sick individuals. Throughout their history, they've done this. Throughout their entire history, they've abused children. They're everywhere. When the Epstein files finally break, because they're still covering it up, you're going to see all kinds of people in there. Politicians, doctors, lawyers, actors, billionaires, powerful individuals. And the files indicate that these individuals were eating babies, eating them, eating babies, trafficking babies for a very long time and getting away with it. And they're still getting away with it. The DOJ has covered it up. The FBI has covered it up. Kristi Noem has covered it up for Donald Trump. Pam Bondi has covered it up. Kash Patel has covered it up. The entire system is rotten from top to bottom. These individuals are in the Epstein files. Donald Trump is in the Epstein files thousands upon thousands of times for having abused children. This is why they refuse to release the Epstein files in their entirety. But the American people know this. YT people know this, that this man is a rapist and an overt racist and has been one for decades, and a child abuser. The DOJ interviewed the lady who made these accusations against Donald Trump, and they followed up the interview 5 or 6 times, lending credibility to her statements. And then it all disappeared. It all went away. And the DOJ refuses to release the Epstein files in their entirety, and instead have exposed the victims, but not the perpetrators. This is why I say this is a sick nation, a sick country, because they're all covering it up. They all know about it. Donald Trump's whole cabinet is filled with white supremacists and abusers. Clinton, all of them are in the Epstein file. They're all abusers. Howard Lutnick, all of them are in there. But the American people are allowing this to happen. They voted for Donald Trump, put him back in office after everything he's done, just because he is a YT supremacist. That's why, there's no other reason. This is why it's extremely hard for me to respect these people, because the law is not universally applied. They put a black man in prison for stealing a Snickers bar for 25 years for a joint of marijuana. But these individuals commit murders, literally, and get away with it. We see it all of the time. And these individuals are in the Epstein files for having abused children, great little children, men, boys and not men, boys and girls, trafficked them, and have eaten them, killed them, and eaten them. When I say eaten them, I mean eat with their mouth, digested them in their stomachs, sick, cannibalistic behavior. But they have a history of this. Nothing has changed, and nothing has happened to any individual in the Epstein files other than Ghislaine Maxwell. And Epstein himself took it forever to do it. Somewhere Epstein, then they killed him. He did not kill himself. They killed him because he knows too much and he's going to expose it all in order to get out of jail. They said, no way. They said that they didn't walk by and do a check on him for hours. Huh? He was already on watch because they said he may hurt himself, and yet no one went to watch him. Right. These individuals are all in there, and no one has been held accountable. I don't want to hear a white person in life ever again talk about black people and black people being criminals and black people needing to go to jail and uphold the law, even when they accused Cyrus of stealing the water out of the store. These individuals were making videos, Asians and all of this, saying, well, raise your kids right. It's this sick ghetto culture that you guys have. It's your fault. He was in there stealing in the first place, and he had a gun and this, that, and the other. I don't want to hear any of you sick bastards, none of you, say a damn thing about ghetto culture or black culture and how black people are inclined to criminality. It is innate in black people. Let you individuals tell. No, it is innate in you. And the fact that the American people have not held Donald Trump accountable, the fact that they are sycophants who suck up to him in spite of all of his crimes, means that I, as a man, have no duty respecting these individuals. They stand for absolutely nothing. They are immoral individuals, all of them. They all know that Donald Trump is in the Epstein files thousands of times. Many of these individuals have children themselves. And by the way, if you have a child and you are a Trump supporter, I would suggest that someone gets over there and speaks with that child immediately, ASAP. Probably, chances are, the child has been abused at some point in their life by the parent, the Trump supporter, because if you sanction Trump, if you subscribe to Trump's rhetoric and position, then you have at least the potential to abuse a child. You've either done it or you have the potential to do it. If you are not outraged by Donald Trump, who is accused of abusing SN little girls by the thousands, then I have to question you. And if you are a parent of a child that's in that age group of the children that he is accused of abusing, then if you're any sort of parent, if you are a parent that is worth your salt, then you would be outraged by Donald Trump. You would be repulsed by him. You would withdraw your support immediately as soon as you learn that he was in the Epstein file thousands of times. But your racism is so strong that you will continue to support him in spite of being accused of heinous crimes against children, even though you have children, because your hatred for black people is that strong. stronger than your love for your own child. Your hatred for black people is stronger than your love for your own child. I can't respect that. Any moral nation, any moral demographic, these Christian people all there, go to church, Christians, would hold Donald Trump accountable, would be calling for Donald Trump's head, would make sure Donald Trump went to prison for his crimes, would make sure that the Epstein files were released in their entirety a long time ago, and that everyone in the Epstein files was held accountable. Other nations have done it. Other nations have released the Epstein files in their entirety and put people in prison that were in the Epstein files that are from their country. Only America hasn't done it. Only in America, no one has been held accountable. No one. You know what I mean? People are in the Epstein files. Just read the parts that have been released. Sickness throughout the Epstein files. Absolute sickness. And he creates distraction after distraction. Starts the Iran war. It creates these distractions from the files. And everyone doesn't care. No one is holding him accountable. All of the YT people who say that black people are criminals, lock them up, give them 3 strikes, make the 3 strikes law. They're a bunch of lazy drug addicts, women beaters, and all of this stuff. With this ghetto culture, lock them up and throw away the key because they hate you and don't want to see you. They want to abuse you. They want you off of the earth. When really it's them that needs to be off of the earth. The world would be so much better. It'd be so much more peaceful. They are the ones creating havoc on the entire planet. Them and only them. And it's always been that way. But the individuals who want you locked up, who supported the 3 strikes law, who said that you should be in prison for the rest of your life. If your 3rd strike is still in a candy bar. Donald Trump was convicted of 34 felonies before he went back into the White House. Before he won re-election, he was already convicted of 34 felonies. No 3 strikes for him. These same people who want you to get 3 strikes for 3 felonies voted for a president who had 34 felonies. And since he's been in office, we learned that he's in the Epstein files thousands of times and that it's a complete cover-up going on with the Epstein situation from top to bottom. And the American people are not outraged at all whatsoever. If it were black people in those Epstein files accused of doing this sickening stuff to children, they'd be calling for black people's heads. They'd be talking about how sick black people are. Every one of us. You're going to just lump every one of us in that, for sure. How we need to be off of the face of the earth because we are on earth hurting children by the thousands, trafficking and unaliving babies and eating them. But since it's Donald Trump, they sitting on their ass and haven't said nothing. No one is outraged. When the New York Knicks won the NBA championship, they came out by the millions and flooded the street. There was nothing that anyone could do. But no one is coming out by the millions and flooding the street saying that Donald Trump must pay for his crimes against children. That everyone in these files need to pay for their crimes against children. But they want you locked up for anything that you do. They are all about law and order. Enforcing the laws of the country. Cleaning up the street. In the name of mass incarceration of the black man. They justify it, they excuse it, they support it, they subscribe to it. They want you out of the way. But with Donald Trump and his cohorts, his cronies, all in the Epstein files, by the thousands, it's crickets, it's silence. Put you in jail for the rest of your life for marijuana. But these people out here eating babies, literally. Where's white America at? Why are they not outraged? They care so much about law and order. They want all of these prisons built because they care so much about law and order and abiding by the laws of the country. But when it comes to him and them, they no longer care about the law. You can do anything. You can break the law in a million different ways, in the sickest of ways. And they're silent. You hear nothing. They're not calling for Trump's head. They're not calling for his incarceration. They're not out here protesting, saying, get this dude out of office. I'm not even going to get into why he should have been impeached a long time in his first term. I'm not even going to get into what he's been doing since he's been in office. Laid off more black people than any president in history. He sold an AI chip for $1 billion. His Homeland Security advisor advised him against selling this to these individuals because they were afraid that it was going to get into the hand of China. They didn't want the Chinese to get it. So no American president before him had sold this, had let them in on this. And they advised Donald Trump not to do it as well. What did he do? He sold it. What was his profit? Over 300 million. His children got, one of them got 75 million, one of them got 119 million. The list goes on for this one sale. No sitting president has ever held stocks. Donald Trump does. The only one. He's the worst president, has the lowest approval rating in American history. The worst president in American history. For so many different reasons. Yet all of these individuals still voted for him and say nothing about him. He's going to try to run for a third term. Why not? He tried to steal the election before because the American people allowed him to try to steal an election before. They went in there and bust the police upside the head and no one did anything about it in support of Donald Trump. It would have been a massacre had that been black people. But when white people get upset, they can do whatever they want to do in this country and get away with it. It's been that way from day one. Me, myself, I'm sick of it. And I say that these individuals are hypocrites. The same individuals who want you in prison for the rest of your life for anything, any trivial or minute indiscretion, will send you to the belly of the beast for the rest of your life in this country if you are a black man. But these individuals are family annihilators. They're annihilating their entire families. They're shooting up schools and killing little kids. And they're raping babies by the millions. Always want to talk about black on black crime. Let's talk about Mexican on Mexican crime. Let's get into it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about white on white crime. The biggest threat to a white woman is a white man. No one else. But they constantly want to point their blood-soaked finger at me and my community. as sick as they are. Once they allowed Donald Trump to stay in office and are not making any noise whatsoever about his crimes, even trying to get down to the bottom of his crimes, instead, in fact, are covering it up and supporting him, they lost all of my respect. These are the same individuals that gave Bill Clinton a standing ovation when Bill Clinton, who doesn't give a damn about black people, just like racist ass Hillary Clinton doesn't give a damn about black people. Only foolish ass black people think that they ever did. When he came with the crime bill, 1994, and got a standing ovation there in Congress. He said that if you commit 3 strikes, you're out. The same individuals there, all of these politicians that were there and stood up and gave him a standing ovation because they were talking about black people. And everyone understood the dog whistle. Everyone understood the language. All of them understood it. If you know anything, if you have common sense, you understood it as well. You didn't have to be white to understand what he meant. And it all proved to be true. Your boy, Bill Clinton, responsible for mass incarceration. Some are going to say, no, you're responsible. Your people are responsible for committing crimes. No, that's the whole point. You sick ass motherfuckers. You have committed every crime known to man. You just don't go to jail for it because you created the law. These same individuals that gave him a standing ovation because they want you in prison for the rest of your life say nothing about Donald Trump's crimes. He lost a civil suit for grape. Before he got back in office, a woman said that he raped her in public, in a public bathroom, in some clothing store. He was found liable for this. He still voted him in. It doesn't matter. White man can commit any crime and get away with it in this country. But you, black man, you get caught stealing a Snicker, they're going to put you on the news and paint you as some criminal who doesn't deserve to breathe life's air. These are sick people. So I don't respect them because the law doesn't apply to them. If they don't want the law to apply to them or anyone that looks like them, they only want you in prison. We talking about people being in prison for years. This is horrific. We talking about people playing with people's lives. Just based on someone's skin color. But this individual can get away with the most heinous crimes in the world. Man, I don't respect these people. Where's your outrage for Donald Trump and the individuals in the Epstein files? Any one of you, please stand up. You have kids of your own. And again, need to send CPS over there to check the kids out. Talk to them, have a conversation with you. If you support Donald Trump, you need to be investigated. I am dead serious. If you support Donald Trump right now in 2026, with everything that you know, you have children, they need to come and speak to you, speak to those children, and make sure they are safe. I'm dead serious. And I would not be surprised if many of them are, via the investigation, we'll find out many of them are not safe. Because they believe in this sort of stuff. This is why they support him still. This is why they don't want anything to happen to him, even after all that he's done. Because this is their God. This is their God. They're the same kind of people. They need to be investigated. Check on the children, y'all. Check on the children. You see a Trump supporter, black or white, check on the child. Check on the grandchild. Even if the child is 1, check on them. The younger the better for these individuals. I'm dead serious. Check on them. We talking about some sick people, some sick individuals. But okay, my bad. Damn. I've been going and going. I couldn't even I only played a couple minutes of his video. Almost 5 minutes. Damn. I know y'all ain't gonna be staying this long, but everybody probably already checked out. I just said I was gonna work on that, on not overpowering the video, on letting the video speak, and then I'll talk later, whatever. And then try to tone that down some. That's what I said. This is my goal, to try to tone it down some. That didn't work out too well. Damn. I still end up overpowering the video. A little bit, with my rhetoric. But I am who I am, people, nothing I can do about it. And it just took me all of that time to realize that I'm on the wrong channel here. It's supposed to be right here, right? The Unwoke Culture. I have another channel, y'all, right there. The Inside Story with Damian Porter. Subscribe if you want to. There's some different kind of stuff over there. But the Unwoke Culture. So this is where I was supposed to be. My bad. The whole damn time. Just now realized that. But okay. Let me know what you think in the comments. I'll stop it there because I'll be going on and on. But I'll get some more to with this individual here. Paul Lance, again, is his name. His YouTube channel is Paul Lance. Go check him out. I'll get into some more of what he has to say. He has a lot to say about a lot of stuff. He calls them out constantly. Shout out to him. Keep doing your good work. Keep doing what you're doing. Your work is sorely needed in this country, that's for sure. Stay safe and power to the people.